Okay, Alexander, let's talk about the Senate Republicans. Let me read you two titles, one from The Hill and one from Zero Hedge. Senate report describes closer ties between 2016 Trump campaign, Russia. That's from The Hill. And from Zero Hedge, Senate panel releases final report on Russia interference in 2016, says Manafort posed, quote, grave counterintelligence threat. So, Alexander, once again, you have the Republicans just completely dropping the ball on this. They're covering their ass. They do not like Trump. Never have, never will. And I think this is all about these findings in this Senate report, this panel that they released their findings. I think this is all about covering their butt because they knew the whole thing was a hoax back in 2017. And they went along with the entire Mueller investigation, impeachment, Ukraine, all that stuff. They went along with the whole thing for 2+ years, even though they knew it was all one big hoax. And I think now they're just trying to rationalize their the fact that they're just shills, these guys. I don't even know what to say. I'm tired of the Republicans in the Senate. I'm tired. If it wasn't for Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes, Matt Gaetz, the rest of them they're just useless. Absolutely useless.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing to say about the Republicans is that we've been talking recently, most recently, about how the Republican leadership in Congress and certainly in the Senate has been extremely unhelpful to Donald Trump. In fact, they've been frankly hostile to him. This report confirms that absolutely. I mean, it is simply a rehash of Robert Mueller talking points, if I can put it in that simple way. I mean, I read through it. I mean, it's all 990 pages, but it didn't take very long because I was able just to tick it all off. So, Paul Manafort, a counterintelligence threat, danger. He's far too close to the Russians. Which Russians? Which Russians is he close to? As we've discussed many times on these programs, Paul Manafort worked in Ukraine. He didn't work in Russia. And he worked in Ukraine on behalf of the United States. He was one of the people who was responsible for pulling Ukraine away from Russia.
On behalf of Obama and Biden.
Correct. Absolutely. That's entirely the point. That's entirely right. That's so we know. But here we are back to the story about Manafort. He's some kind of counterintelligence risk. We now have we see again the Trump Tower meeting. Veselnitskaya, this sort of ludicrous lawyer that comes from Russia, who, by the way, no one in Russia takes it all seriously. She's obviously deeply connected with the Russian government. There was some kind of massive outreach going on by the Russians to the Trump Tower and the Trump Tower meeting, and this is all somehow very suspicious and very wrong, though nobody can quite say how or why. It's absolute nonsense. There's absolutely no truth to that. It's been completely discredited. And of course, all the interactions during the transition period, basically that means Flynn with the Russian ambassador, all something, very sinister and mysterious was going on. And the Russians were taking advantage of the inexperience of the, Trump people. And, they didn't realize that they were being manipulated by the Russians. Again, all absolute and complete nonsense. And, a few very gentle little raps on the wrist of the FBI. They took the Steele dossier rather too seriously. I mean, that's what it says. And, they didn't, understand, the hacking issues particularly well with the DNC because, they are so oriented to protecting the victims that they don't quite carry out the investigation processes properly. It's absolute nonsense. It's a complete rubbish of a report, frankly. I mean, the one thing I would say, the only good thing about it is it admits that there was actually no active collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. But in all other respects, it's a whitewash. It's an attempt basically to revive the whole Mueller narrative that, you know, the Russians were up to no good, and they found all kinds of people in the Trump campaign to interact with, but there was no actual collusion. I mean, that's what it's all about. And what is so bizarre about all of this, what's so weird about all of this, is that, of course, since Mueller published his report, between publication of Mueller report and publication of this report, that entire narrative has disintegrated. I mean, Papadopoulos, another person who comes out badly from this, so I can put it like that. He is, again, you know, this rogue operator who's supposedly getting deep involved with the Russians. Mifsud is, of course, a Russian asset. I mean, you know, all of these tropes and themes and memes that we've spent so many hours on our programs going through, showing how flawed they obviously are. They're all there. So clearly, the Republicans in the Senate, they're not friends with Donald Trump. They're, as you correctly say, covering their backs, and they're just perpetuating this mythology. I mean, that's all it is now. That's all it is. The problem is, as the indictments roll in from Durham, which I predict they will, what are these people going to do? I mean, presumably look the other way, say how shocked they are, say how surprised they are, but still stick with the same essential narrative. I mean, this leadership in the Senate, the Republican leadership in the Senate, they allowed Russiagate to continue for 3 years, even though they knew, everybody was coming along telling them that there was nothing in this, and they still, you know, let it go. They still let the Mueller investigation continue for all that time. These people are obviously of no use to Donald Trump at all. And frankly, if I was a Republican voter out there who supports the Republican president and wants to believe in the Republican Party, I knew about this report, I'd be furious. Fortunately for the people in the Senate, very few of them will.
Yeah, I mean, look, Lindsey Graham, for example, who's one of these guys in the report, and Marco Rubio and all these, the same names we hear over and over again, these rhinos, Republicans in name only. Graham knew the dossier was phony, but he was continuing to say the stupid Mueller is a man of integrity, and if you stop this investigation, we are going to impeach President Trump because Mueller is a man of honesty and integrity and of courage, even though he knew the entire dossier and the entire investigation was bogus. That's Lindsey Graham. The lawyer, Veselinskaya, her visa was given to her by the Obama administration, a very strange type of visa, something unlimited entry or just come in whenever you want, no problem type of visa. That was Obama that gave it to her. How can you go off on Manafort? And yes, definitely Manafort was doing some money laundering in Ukraine, no doubt about it, as is just about every U.S. politician involved in Ukraine, i.e. Hunter Biden, i.e. Joe Biden, i.e. Podesta. How can you go after Manafort and not go after Podesta? Podesta's walking free. He's strategizing with the Democrats, even though he was Manafort's partner in crime. They were partners. Literally, they were partners in Ukraine, those two guys, Podesta and Manafort. Both Podestas, both brothers, John and Tony Podesta. How can you go after Manafort and not bring up Podesta? And finally, this whole thing pisses me off because what this does is it once again throws a bone to the Rachel Maddows and the Chris Cuomos and the Anderson Coopers and all these dumb idiots for them to sit there and say, oh, you see the Russians really did interfere. Republicans are saying it too. And Donald Trump's campaign manager was a Putin puppet, and that means that Putin was one breath away from Trump. And just the Republicans, just stop, Republicans. You're not helping. You are not helping. You are useless, incompetent, useless, corrupt.
Well, indeed. I mean, absolutely, because, of course, you know, even if you're not a Republican, you should care about the truth. These people don't care about the truth. They care again about perpetuating this bad narrative. And by the way, you mentioned Veselnitskaya. Who else was Veselnitskaya meeting when she was in the United States and meeting Donald Trump Jr.? She was meeting Glenn Simpson of Fusion GPS, with whom she was working. I mean, you know, this is it's almost as if, you know, all of these things that we've discovered they suddenly don't exist anymore. I mean, we're back to the same old story, the same ludicrous reports, the same things that Rachel Maddow and the New York Times and the Washington Post and any number of other people, Lawfare, they've all been churning out all these last couple of years. Again, there's no ultimate bite here because, of course, they can't show that there's collusion because there clearly wasn't, and they can't show that anybody was a foreign agent, which is what the FBI was trying to do, which is really very sinister, and we talked about this in a program recently. They can't do all of that, but as you absolutely rightly say, they have given more steam to the Rachel Maddows, the New York Times, editorial page, those sort of things. And that's ultimately, it seems what these people are more concerned to do. I mean, they want to protect themselves. They want to protect clearly various elements of the permanent state in the United States, of which they seem to be very closely connected with. They don't like Donald Trump. By the way, that came out to me very clearly during the impeachment proceedings also. And they are not helping. Now, when I have read some comments from some people say, that we are, too partisan in this thing, that, we give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. There is no question here. This is the truth. There was no Russiagate. There was no Russian collusion. The whole story is a fiction. So why is the Republican leadership reanimating this corpse? Because a corpse is what it is.
Yeah, we'll leave it there, Alexander. You have any final words on the stupidity that just does not end? The stupidity that doesn't end?
At some point, the United States needs to move beyond this. It won't be able to until it finally confronts the truth. I mean, because this thing will just go on hanging over the political system in the United States indefinitely until it's finally cleared up. That's one reason, by the way, why I want to see the Durham investigation run its course, and why I want to see Donald Trump elected, and why I hope Durham does actually go after the big fish.
All right, we'll wait and see. Alexander Mercurse, editor-in-chief of the Duran. Thank you very much, guys. If you like this video, click on the subscribe button down below. Smash that like. Drop us a comment as well. We love to hear your comments. And please donate to us on PayPal, Patreon, and Subscribestar. Your donation really helps out this channel a whole lot. It helps us report the news that the mainstream media does not report and will not report. So you'll find links to all of those platforms in the description box down below. And of course, go to the Duran shop, pick up some magic mugs. We've got great new magic mugs, got great new magic hats, awesome hats, embroidered shirts, t-shirts, all kinds of great things. And also a quick plug to our friends at Patriotic Legacy. We have a new giveaway for the month of August. It is the brand new purple Beacon 3, purple color. Alexander is holding up the black Patriot Beacon 3, which is awesome. But the contest is Purple Patriot Beacon 3. You'll win it if you make any purchase from the Patriotic Legacy. A link to their site is in the description box down below. Any purchase enters you into that contest. And with the Purple Patriot Beacon 3, Alexander, our friends at Patriotic Legacy will give the contest winner this exact mug as well. So not only do you get the Purple Patriot Beacon 3, but you also get the USA Duran mug as well. So Alexander, and also 20% off when you use the code Duran20 at checkout. 20% off.
You can't possibly not participate because, can I just say, first of all, Patriot Beacon, made by our friends at Patriotic Legacy in the United States, ships all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can still participate in this contest and get yourself one. It is the best flashlight in the world. If you want to get to the bottom of, the murky, undergrowth of Russiagate, find out what James Clapper and James Comey and all those people are really up to, where you put the light on them and you can find out, you can find all the deepest corners and recesses and crooks and crannies of this vast and intricate web of conspiracy. And the Patriot Beacon will help you do that because it is the best flashlight in the world. It's got this extraordinary, powerful beam. It projects enormous distances. It's clear, it's bright. It's actually a beautiful light. It's an amazing flashlight. And you can dim it if you've got people around you. And if you're walking down a dark road and you've got oncoming traffic and you want to alert them to the fact that you're there, you can actually flash. You can have it like flashing like that. So you can see what a wonderful flashlight it is. But it isn't just a flashlight. Alex calls it the Swiss Army knife of flashlights, which is exactly what it is, because it does amazing things as well as being a flashlight. First of all, if you want to alert people to your presence, make them come, notice where you are from a distance. If you want to draw the attention of your dogs, for example, as I do, well, it's got an alarm. If you get lost, it's got a compass in the handle. It's solar powered, so you don't need to worry about batteries. It won't ever run out of you. If you want to recharge your smartphone or your tablet or your laptop, it's got a port there. If you need a tool, well, it can become a hammer. Or if you need to rescue someone, say, on the road, well, you can smash a windscreen with this to pull somebody out, and you've got a seatbelt cutter to cut them out too. So it is an incredibly useful thing from so many points of view. It's also got a magnet, by the way, so you can put it in a convenient place, and it's there. You can keep it on the wall in a metal surface, and it's extremely accessible. But the thing that is really great about it, the thing I love about it, is it is so beautifully made. It is strong, it is rugged, it feels indestructible. Merely holding it gives you confidence. It's one of those great products that the US makes. It's the Patriot Beacon by our friends at the Patriotic Legacy. It now comes in purple. You can't possibly be without one. So join this competition. Go to our shop. Get yourself, mugs like this. Well, you'll get your mug if you succeed in this competition too. But we've got lots of others. This is one with our own double-headed eagle there. Find enameled mugs in our shop. You'll find enameled. You'll find embroidered hats. You'll find a whole new range of shirts. You'll find an ever-expanding catalogue of ebooks. So you can support us by coming to our shop. You can get yourself a Patriot Beacon. Alex will tell you how.
Just go to the duranshop.com. You'll find the link in the description box down below. Alexander Mercurs, thank you very much. Until next time, everybody, take care.